A couple of days ago, I had my first meaningful hands-on experience with the HTC One M9. Now, as an iPhone user, I've always felt a little bad for HTC because they make some great looking products that are full of function, but I don't think they get the accolades that they deserve. Now, as a full-time iPhone user, I feel like I have a unique perspective to lend to those of you who may be interested in the M9, or for those of you who just want to know about other flagship phones outside of the Apple ecosystem. So, here's a look at the HTC One M9 from an iPhone user's perspective. First, let's talk about 5 things that I love about the HTC One M9. The first is build quality. There's no plastic here, and that's a very good thing. It probably doesn't do much for HTC's bottom line, but you have to appreciate its dedication to excellence in the area of build quality. The phone feels rock solid in the hand, and although it's all metal, it doesn't feel too heavy or difficult to hold. You don't get the full rounded edges that you have on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, but the edges are tapered enough so that they don't cut into your hands when gripping it tightly. The bottom line is that the HTC One M9 has a very premium feel. Now, my next favorite thing is the front-facing speakers. The speakers on the HTC One M9 are downright incredible. I'm serious, like, it's incredible. It uses something called Boom Sound, which is just, marketing speak, but the fact that you have 2 front-facing speakers, like, facing directly at you is a huge thing. And frankly, I just wish that Apple would give in and put front-facing speakers in the next iPhone. I'm serious, like, it's really that awesome. Now, Highlights is a software feature for HTC's Sense UI, which basically runs on top of Android. Highlights is like Flipboard that runs on your home screen. So if you swipe right while on the first home screen page, you'll find the Highlights section. And that contains news and content from a variety of popular online sources. It's sort of like I said, Flipboard, but just always available right there from your home screen with just a swipe over. It's really convenient. I actually didn't think I would like it at first, but I started using it and I got really used to it, and now I want it on the iPhone. It's pretty cool. How would you know if you had pending notifications on an iPhone without picking up the device? Now, obviously there's the Apple Watch and all that, but simply put, there's no easy way to check for pending notifications on an iPhone. But the HTC One M9, you can see the little notification indicator right there, and it's great because it just subtly lets you know that there's notifications pending, and you don't even have to pick up your phone. Now, next up is expandable storage. It goes without saying, Apple continues to gouge its customers with storage. I mean, they still have a 16 gigabyte iPhone 6 Plus, which is ridiculous. It would be nice if Apple put in expandable storage. That's never going to happen, though. So, as a compromise, I just wish they would offer large storage devices, get rid of the 16 gigabyte devices, and sell them at a reasonable price. That's all I ask. Now let's talk about 5 things that I dislike about the HTC One M9, and it starts with camera quality, which is completely unsurprising. Like, everyone has panned this phone for its lackluster camera, including me. It's subpar. The low light performance on this phone is extremely disappointing. Sure, it's a 20 megapixel sensor, but it just doesn't add up. Next up, the one thing that I just think is odd design-wise about this phone are the buttons. They're so tiny, so thin, and so similar. Like, all the buttons look the same. And I know you have the little tactile feel on the power button, but it's just too close. Even the little SD card slot almost feels like a button, which is kind of silly. I think that could have been designed a little better. Obviously, it looks good, but it's not exactly practical. Next up, you have battery life. Now, this is a complaint. If you do 4K video, which this phone is capable of doing, you're going to notice your battery just die. And this phone can actually charge fast, but the charger that it comes with isn't capable of that. So you actually have to buy an extra charger in order to have fast charging. Although no one can argue that the M9 lacks good build quality, the design is pretty much exactly the same as the older HTC One M8. But as an iPhone user, I understand that might sound silly since we had the iPhone 4 and 4S and the iPhone 5 and 5S. Now, I held out hope that the 4K capabilities of the HTC One M9 would be okay, but I found them to be subpar as well. It lacks optical image stabilization, so if you move around at all, it's going to have a really bad shaky cam effect. You also get grainy video, especially in low light. Stay away from low light with this phone. So folks, that has been a review of the HTC One M9 from an iPhone user's perspective. It has some really good qualities, great build quality, great speakers, If you consume a lot of media, this is a great device for you, but just don't expect to take good photos or videos. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is Jeff with iDownload Blog.